When does that become more expensive than maybe what somebody would expect?
So let's say your data is on-prem, but you're having latency latency so you want to move it to the cloud, the data to access, the different servers and different services out there, just as a test, right? So you're kind of managing double workload, right? To get that to lower that latency because you have data on-prem in an ERP database, and you also have data in the cloud. You also really got to think about when you have to create these new connections. I've talked about that in the past with, in the past, podcast here. It's having those secure, API calls and connections and end-to-end transit. So creating all those new connections securely, making sure that's intact could get a little tedious, could get a little cumbersome as well. And you also got to think to the point too is, when you do create these servers or when you do connect out to cloud services and you use them, and then all of a sudden, you stop using them or the usage goes down. We talked about this with the cloud model, being able to scale up and scale down. It's just sitting out there, right? And you don't have the ability to autonomously scale up and scale down those services. So they may sit idle. You might be wasting money and on something a solution you're not even using in the sense. Is it in their roadmap? Is it going to be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years down the road? But they're ready to invest in a small AI implementation. That's when it really becomes too expensive because you don't want to move everything to the cloud. You just want that quick win, as we mentioned before. And another good one too is like if you're continually moving, data sets from different databases or something, right? It's going to be tough to have everything in the cloud, especially all your different data sources and whatnot. Some might live on-prem. Having the ability to connect to those different ones and have the budget for everything to be in the cloud, really, that could get very costly as well. And really, it comes to the fact that we talked on-prem a lot about the security architecture and really the data architecture that's already there, and you're already familiar with it. Every data architect, all the DBAs are familiar with it. You really have to think about, and it goes with the upfront cost of moving to the cloud, but re-architecting the data, re-architecting the security as it will seamlessly get easier, as we talked about in the past with security, with identity and access management, and really having your data in all one place, like a data lake, is a term we like to throw out as well. So it's really all about budget, timeline, but not, or are you just really looking to improve, a single AI process where you want to stay in the hybrid model?
Yes, it can be expensive off the bat. Yes, for X, Y, and Z, maybe you want to stay on-prem for a little bit longer. And yes, there are a lot of reasons to stay, and we've laid them out so far.